What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 14 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Orion Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, once again, and for several episodes now, we had a lot of battles against a lot of different factions, which has very much been endearing this campaign to me personally, because as you guys know, I love my variety in armies, and I love my variety in enemies as well, and I'm hoping that you guys do too. Anyway, we ended off the episode with declaring war upon the Hunts Marshal's expedition, and have decided to send Uskura to clear out the sacred pools and hopefully get this new magical forest in our grasp as well, and does offer us additional hero capacity when we build that building, so we definitely have to get it because it's been so hard to get a few of the hero capacities that we've needed. Mages and the Chosen are certainly lacking in numbers at the time, so we'll need it. Plus, it kind of makes sense. The Hunts Marshal is not particularly liked by the lizards, and us helping to clear them out of Illustria also feels like it does kind of make sense for what we're doing here. Anyway, we're going to sort of start the episode up by debuting all of the blade singers and war dancers and whatnot against the sacred pools. But before we do that, I gotta talk briefly about something that's near and dear to my heart: the community canon. Specifically, so far for this particular campaign, there hasn't really been a lord that I've felt like has sort of gotten enough feats, done any crazy things that has warranted them to become a legend and kept around on this channel forever. Kind of like Akka the Wanderer back here, who is from another Wood Elf campaign. That said, I did have an idea, and that idea is related to Orion himself. Now, as we've discussed before, Orion's not the same guy every year. Every year he walks into his, pyre, fire, whatever, and a new prince is, let's say, selected, chosen to become Orion, hunted by the Wild Riders, who take him away, and with Ariel's help and their rituals, resurrect Orion in a new body. When he's reborn, he's got all the memories of the sacrificed Orions previously every single year, and of course with the original personality dominating his personality, but all those there under the surface, and the newest one, of course, changing his personality. Generally speaking, his personality, the way he acts, they change every year, and I'm kind of guessing at this because I don't know for sure really, but I do imagine that stronger personalities will leave a stronger imprint on Orion's character. Anyway, what I'm thinking is, since we haven't gotten a lord to make enough of a name for themselves in this campaign so far, and it's not abnormal, it has happened many a time before, not every campaign has a legend join the community canon, but what we can do here is we can record the story of the prince that was eventually to become this particular Orion that we've got here. Now, we do have to keep in mind what exactly happened in this campaign. Tons and tons of war, and because of the mod, many units and Orion himself are much more heavily armored, a little bit less wild than they normally would be. So, in that light, I'm thinking that the chosen prince that was made into this particular Orion was not a willing participant and had led the wild hunters on a merry chase. Maybe he was a worshipper of Vol, the smith god, which would explain the influence, his memories being influenced in order to favor craftsmen and armor smiths and whatnot a little bit more in Orion's hunters, which are, normally also essentially unarmored and using crude gear, but this would explain why it happened in this manner. And I guess maybe he's more prone to war because Vol, the smith god, carries some sort of burning hatred in his heart for Cain, who forces him to make weapons for him. And, that hatred maybe influences this particular Orion as well. Kind of along those lines. I don't know, maybe even after this Orion is gone, a sort of splinter cult, or, splinter order of the Wild Riders can remain, or even just Wood Elves in general, the sort of armored hunters kind of deal. Orion is a nature god, which is kind of, neutral, and hence explains all the wildness and neutrality and unarmoredness, but nonetheless, sort of considered a mini moral corruption, spiritual corruption, etc., etc., etc. It does happen in Athel Loren on occasion. Anyway, I don't really digress. This is very much on point. But spear point, I should say. But anyway, keep in mind, I'm not married to any of these ideas. Let me know your thoughts, suggestions, names, etc. We will need to actually name this prince as well. As usual, I will combine them into a story from the comments below, and we will enter the prince that became the Orion of this particular campaign for this campaign. Anyway, that was a lot of yammering, I admit. So, Iskra, it's time to debut. Let's level up Azeroth the Shadow Dancer, who has 3 points. And since we're fighting Imperials, I think we'll go to Shadow's Fall and reduce enemy range. So we'll go Misdirection and into Shadow's Fall. There isn't anything really that we need here. We do want the Vanguard deployment, but we don't have it yet. And frankly, the entire army doesn't have it yet, so we can't deal with it anyway. You are the only one who can cast right now, so I think we'll do... I'm gonna say... Okay, you don't have a basic form of any of these spells, do you? So we'll need to leave... What do you have? Yeah, Power of Darkness and Chill Wind. We should try to get Blade Wind up and running as fast as possible, but anyway. Let's get you Shield of Thorns. I think we'll do that over the healing, because it affects more units at once. I don't think it'll be crazy needed for this particular battle, but just in case. Anyway, let's head to the Sacred Pools. We need to be careful not to take too much damage, as the full stack of Wolfheart is nearby, and they could attack us in reprisal. Time to go. Alrighty, here we go. Finally, this army can go out and play. They're going to be a little bit difficult to see while they approach the enemy lines. Still, we'll be able to see all the War Dancers in action. I'd really like to compare the War Dancers to the Blade Singers and such. Though by the looks of it, at least from what I can see here, the War Dancers are a lot less heavily armored, which is appropriate and does make sense. There we go. Can see them a little bit better here. Yeah, alright, there we go. I feel like the War Dancers look much more like they should. I don't know why the Blade Singers are made super heavily armored when they have sort of crazy leaping animations and such. But anyway, not important. What is important is how we're going to approach this particular battle. So we are moving up through the trees so that the enemy cannot target us either with mortar or with range fire, and so that we can suddenly sort of appear in the enemy army, as we like to do. So we separate all of our forces and we get ready to go. Alright, now we can take a look. So these are the War Dancers, both with Ezra spears and with their twin blades, and yeah, they look pretty solid. Let's see how they do against the enemy here. And charging on, and damn, they always move quick. One of the great things about the Twin Blade variant is that their trait, or their ability, gives them an additional 10% ward save and 10% melee defense at the cost of only 10 melee attack, which is pretty damn great because their melee attack is already very high. Ooh, there we go, you gotta love those animations. Against enemy infantry in particular. Brutal, absolutely brutal. These guys are always very fun to watch fighting. I can watch that particular animation all day. Is it the Twin Blades only that do that, or do the Ezra, or do the Spears do that as well? I suppose it doesn't matter. Anyway, the enemy flank, or one of the enemy flanks, has been destroyed. The other units are moving in and getting ready to help, though the Forest Eagles have landed, silencing the enemy mortars and annoying enemy handgunners and crossbows and the like. The sort of center of the enemy formation, led by our heroes and our lord. And also having to deal with Gotrek, who's in here. They're sort of fighting in the forest, and I'm sure are appreciating the ability to do so. I do believe we got a little bit of a duel happening here. Adora, our Glade captain, is dueling the enemy captain, who I've lost sight of now. But he's in here. Oh, there he is. Alright, and Otto, Cock, and oh, you're a general of the Empire, not a captain, although I suppose it doesn't matter and you'll be nothing, just a pile of bones and wet stuff later, or soonish rather. Anyway, the enemy's left flank is collapsing as well. The Azrae War Dancers, Blade Singers, etc. are making quick work of the enemy here. I mean, it's an infantry pile, so we were always expecting them to get absolutely overrun. And overrun they absolutely have been. Damn, you gotta love how gigantic those great stags are, though. Absolutely towering over everything. Gotta get some action against enemy cavalry with these guys, just to see how much bigger they are than horses. Alright, and by the looks of it, the last of the enemy infantry will be shattered, and the battle's pretty much ours. Gotrek has down to about 10% HP, will briefly recover with his ability, but as usual, the War Dancers and Blade Singers are pretty good at this sort of thing. Massive amount of damage on them, and who will get the final kill? Somebody, I think it was this Blade Singer. Down goes Gotrek, and his defense fails. We suffer... Did we take any damage? Looks like the Loix Tricksters or Dancers with Azrae Spears took a little bit of damage. They led the charge into the enemy lines, however, so it does make sense that they were the ones that took the most hits. But they also entered the fray and did that armor sundering, so good for them. Anyway, we do not need to chase the enemy down. Alright, there we go. A very nice debut battle for these guys. Got a little bit of damage on Askura due to, I think, the one single chill wind that we use, but certainly a decent amount. Azeroth, our Shadow Dancer, didn't do all that much this time around, but, I mean, Gotrek is a sort of a tough foe, so couldn't do too much. 8.5k for our Glade Captain Adora, and nearly 12k for the Branch Wraith. Katrahu... how'd you even do this much damage? I take it was because of the Penumbral Pendulum, not due to the Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma, which was the other spell that we were using, but it doesn't rack up a crazy amount of damage. Anyway, we got 202 kills and 17, nearly 18k on these Blade Singers. Who won the day out of all the War Dancers and Blade Singers? Who truly had a Loix favor? It looks like it's one of the Eagle units at 19k. Yeah, it looks like it's one of the Eagle units that won. Well done, Eagles. They probably won due to the fact that they were attacking weaker units, like the enemy range and the enemy mortars, plus the fact that they do have that bleed effect, which is much better than the axe effect, I hear. Anyway, yeah, looks like you guys at your 202 kills and your 18k damage did the best, and Loix Kiss at 201. Pretty darn solid as well. Gotta name a few more of these guys, but as we go and as the army grows and we power them up, the War Dancers will also get significantly more powerful as they get red line buffs, because they have one of the better red line buffs available to the Wood Elves, which is the Swinging Bows, which gives melee defense as well as melee attack, which is just swell. So, Swinging Bows it is. Probably could have gone for Ever-Reaching Tendrils, but too late. Ooh, or do we go for Blade? No. For this particular lord, we'll go for Swinging Bows first, because I do think these guys need a little bit of extra melee defense. After all, they have no armor to rely upon yet. Although, once again, the red line buffs do fix that a little bit as well. Anyway, Ara, you've got nothing to do, at least for now. We do want to build a little something. Namely, we want to upgrade the Great Hall here to go to Tier 5, and here to go to Tier 5 as well, because spring is ending and that construction cost will be gone next turn. Now, all the trees in Athel Loren, except of course the Oak of Ages, are being upgraded. We do still have a few of our newer trees to upgrade as well, but, well... I think we'll have to prioritize these, because the other ones are going to take forever to reach Tier 5, and we want the 2 additional Tier 5s in order to have more Forest Dragon, Treeman, and Great Stag capacities. Anyway, anybody else need to move? Findal, you're good. I think that was it, actually, in terms of moving everybody around. Or at the very least, I'm going to assume that it is, because I would really like to end the turn, and I would really... Oh. What's the likelihood that one of these guys attacks you? Pretty low. What about you? What do you have? Not all that much. Likelihood of you getting attacked? Pretty low as well. But you know what? I suppose we don't know if there's another army nearby, so let's get you striking branches and into rally. And one more point and we'll get Nature's Quiver. These guys aren't rank 7 yet, but they're nearly there, so we're getting into the red line at the appropriate time, I do think. We need to level the Waystalkers up. What do you guys have again? Training? The Sight Beyond Sight is fine. You have the maxed out Sight Beyond Sight. Oh, I gotta remember that. It's this Waystalker. So Carillion is the unique one, because Carillion is going to have the Eye of Kurnus rather than the Sight Beyond Sight, and thus should probably be in the middle. If we move you out of this army, can we put you back in or no? I never remember if you can do that or whether it forces you to wait. Do we risk it right now if we could get attacked? I'm gonna say no. I guess we could try it with another army. Wait, let's do you for example. You leave army and go back to army. Oh yeah, you can. Okay. I guess you just can't do it twice. So, Ara, you will leave, and you'll enter again. Like so, that kills off the movement range, but I guess we didn't need to do anything about that anyway. And this way, Carillion is in the middle, and I'll try to remember not to change this buff. Next up, I want to get Prey of Anathema on you, assuming we don't want to get something else here first. Tempered Rigor is quite good. We do need some melee units in this army. The Hunt would be great as well, but oh, it's only available at rank 25? Damn, just for 4% ammunition. It's shockingly difficult to get bonus ammunition for the Wood Elves. At least for other units. Heroes a little bit easier. Alright, that's fine. We'll do Fleet Finger for you, and then we'll go for Piercing Shots and into Prey of Anathema, which we certainly want. You guys are gonna go Prey of Anathema. We're gonna ignore Training for now, though there's a decent... I was gonna say, there is a decent argument to be made for actually getting it, but we'll go for Pick Them Off for now, additional range for the army, even if it ain't much. And then you have Prey of Anathema, but you can go through Scouting Ahead and into Pick Them Off as well. Like so. Alrighty, and what about you? Once again, we don't know whether another army is nearby. We have the Scalade Captain in the army. Why? I don't remember. Born to Ride doesn't do anything for you because, while it does give Strider to Cavalry, we already have... Oh, wait. We don't have Strider on Sisters of the Thorn. Huh. I didn't realize that. Alright, so we're gonna have some Sisters in this army as support units and the ability to chase down some enemies, so let's go for Strider for Cav then. Born to Ride, since none of the other stuff benefits range units. I mean, yes, it does Hawk Riders, but we don't have any extra Hawk Riders. And we need additional Hawk Riders to give to the All-Air Army, which is going to be the Sisters of Twilight, which we should be able to get this episode. Anyway, Tempered Rigor for you. Like so. Alright, you're leveled up. Now, this is what I was talking about before I distracted myself. We need one more Skaven fight to confederate the Sisters of Twilight, so let's end the turn. Let's hope Trudge Craventail proves not so craven. And decides to actually attack Daith with 2 armies. Huh. Okay, I actually wasn't expecting this one to happen. Really, it's just, I mean, it is piles of units, which could be fun. But they are very weak units. But it is 2 stacks, admittedly. And I think 2 stacks is worth fighting. Don't you guys? I'm hearing yeses, so go. Alrighty, by Kurnus indeed, and I am thinking that this should be a pretty darn fun fight, or at least excited to see what it will be like. I like the sword. Anyway, we've got our Eternal Wardens and our units of Eternal Guard together with the Zotes, all now armored up, and due to the War Drum giving them an additional 25 armor, the Zotes up to 105 armor, which is pretty massive because they have 16,000 HP, only 8 entities, and they have permanent regeneration on them, and due to the not the magic bond, but the protectors of the wood, armor, physical resistance, and reserves. Oh wait, it's not regeneration, it's just, oh, it's even more Winds of Magic reserves. Damn, that's really nice. And that's really nice. But, well, they do still have regen in the form of Earthblood, so that's all good. Anyway, excited to see how our Eternal Guard and Wardens hold the line here, together with the Zotes against the massive influx of enemies. Our Lord Datayan, or Lady of the Glade, did annoy the enemies into sending their saber tusks forward. They don't have the mass to charge through all of those Eternal Guard, and the Eternal Guard will hold, wait, take the charge, and then allow the Zotes to move in and start whacking away. Alrighty, and it does look like the enemy decided to, a Bone Crusher comes down but kills no units. Why it killed no units? Because just as the Bone Crusher spell appeared, we used Flesh to Stone on the unit of Eternal Guard. They lost HP, but they cannot die, and due to that ability, so looking good there. And since we have all of these Zotes, we have lots and lots of time and options, opportunities to use Flesh to Stone, as well as Earthblood to heal our guys up. Anyway, it looks like the vanguard of enemy saber tusks are having a pretty bad time of it. Though the enemy reinforcements have arrived and more ogres are moving into the fray as well. Well, let's see how the enemy does. By the looks of it, we will be able to fight the ogre army before the other army, the Beastman army arrives on the field. Looks like Scrag has entered the fray as well, trying to whack away at a few of those Zotes, but we've sent the Glade Captain to fight Scrag at the same time. Got a nice big old line of units holding. The Zotes and the Eternal Guard do make for a very solid and defensive line. Obviously, the Eternal Guard and Wardens are never going to be like true strong line holders. It's not like Wood Elves don't have infantry that are going to be like on par with, I don't know, Phoenix Guard or anything like that in terms of just sheer holding the line. But this is still doing very nicely, especially with the ability to spam Earthblood and Flesh to Stone, and of course the Shield of Thorns as well. We got a lot of access to stuff that will keep our lines stronger than these stats may make it appear. Anyway, the Zotes are still whacking away at everything around them. We are starting to take a little bit of damage from enemy range fire. It's just a few Hobgoblin Mercs here though. And we do have that massive pile of Beastmen moving in as well. Scrag is down by about 30% HP. But at the same time, our Glade Lord is still taking damage, or similarly, I should say, taking damage as well. And still the enemy saber tusks are coming. Man, the enemy certainly brought a lot of these cats. Funnily enough, they would probably fit in fairly nicely with our own types of units. Mine is the fact that I really don't like the fact that they have Rampage. Not like we have the opportunity to ally with any of the Ogre factions in this particular campaign, at least at the current time, since Goldtooth really doesn't like us. And what are you gonna do? Scrag's still in the fight and gets another Bone Crusher down. He has managed to severely damage Datayan, who's activated that potion of toughness to heal up a little bit and get a little bit of that extra defense up and running. Of course, Scrag is healing himself constantly, so it will be still fairly tough to bring him down, but I suppose at the end of the day, once his army is gone, he'll be gone too, even if he does manage to outlast them. Although whether he will or won't remains to be seen. Alright, still holding the line. And tactically, there's not much to say about this particular battle, other than the fact that it looks pretty darn cool. Just a big old line of units holding back the tide of the monstrous and the, I don't know, beastly, I guess? Though I guess monstrous and beastly, well, our Zotes kind of fit that as well. Although the armor makes them look a little bit more sophisticated than the Beastmen, so props to the mod for giving them that armor. Alright, and now most of the ogres are gone. Well, I guess there wasn't actually a lot of ogres in the ogre army, mostly nobblers and saber tusks, but they're mostly gone. A few saber tusks still fighting, but by and large have been replaced by the Bone Crusher coming down, by and large have been replaced by Ungors and by Beastmen Warhounds as well. Still see daggers coming in and arrows from the Ungor Raiders. And that's still an absolutely massive pile of Ungors. That said, looks like Scrag is down to about 30%. We can force the Gores, or Ungors rather, to dwindle by spamming an Awakening of the Wood or repeatedly spamming Awakening of the Wood in the center of the formation. All the while we continue to hold and use our supporting spells from our Zotes. And, ooh, looks like the enemy has decided to start focusing down that drum, which is down to about half of its HP. Scrag has decided to give up, although Datayan, our Glade Lady, or Lady of the Glade, has reached her healing cap, and it does look like a few Saber Tusks will prevent her from chasing Scraggy down, but it's all good. It does look like the enemy center line has collapsed, which means we can send our central units to move to the left flank. Enemy refusing to fight in this water here, which is probably good for the enemy, because they are thus not receiving debuffs. The right flank continues to hold, even though the center is completely empty now as well. And I'm very, very glad that we fought this. This turned out to be a very nice battle. I'm tremendously happy with it. Anyway, another Shield of Thorns comes down on the left flank. Still an absolutely brutal melee on the left flank as well, though with the advent or the reinforcing units that have come from the center, that's a lot more Zotes and that have entered the fray. Another Awakening of the Wood smashes into the enemy, though of course hitting our own units means we suffer the debuffs as well. The Awakening gives us a melee attack and speed reduction. Now that said, I suppose it won't matter too much for the Zotes, who brutally charge through the fleeing units of Ungors. Of course, our Eternal Guard are probably going to run a little bit slower than the Zotes, but at least the Zotes can chase them down. And despite being severely damaged, Datayan is back into the fray as well, whacking away with her sword among the Zotes in great mauls. The enemy right flank, however, has not yet collapsed, though our Spellweaver has joined the fray, Spellsinger rather, has joined the fray as well. I do like the way they cover over the enemies. I'm also impressed with these enemy Ungors and the fact that they haven't routed yet. I remember to put a couple more Forest Spirits into this army, although I suppose I haven't actually thinking of taking Forest Spirits off of various armies. Yes, they do cause various enemies to rout faster, but routing can sometimes, or enemies routing before losing too many units, can actually work against you a lot of the time, especially depending on which faction you're fighting and with which army. This sort of line holder army actually wants the enemy to be in the fray for as long as possible, because they're unlikely to actually chase them down most of the time. Speaking of chasing an enemy down, it does look like Scrag has broken, and similarly so has the Bray Shaman's Warherd broken as well. And Datayan's a little bit too fast, sort of running in circles around the Bray Shaman rather. I do like that staff though. I like that staff a lot. I like the still glowing eyes on that skull. Nice. Steal the staff, use it for our own purposes. But anyway, probably get corrupted by chaos or something if you do. A lovely battle. As we can see, we took plenty of damage rather on several of our units. But as we will shortly see, thanks to the Flesh to Stone, a lot of our units didn't lose a lot of their models because they couldn't die. Oh man, am I glad that we actually fought that fight. Pyrrhic victory and a great, great defense by these guys. Plus we got to see the effectiveness of the Zotes and the Eternal Guard and Wardens in action together, which worked out pretty darn well. In particular, I do like the way that the Flesh to Stone spam that we have as it's a bound spell available on the Zotes is, I don't remember how many seconds it was, but it provides that cannot die thing for the Eternal Wardens, which allows us to counter things like that Bone Crusher spell from Scrag and prevent massive losses on our units due to spells in that, even if it offers no additional actual defense against spells. And in terms of how we did here, looks like Datayan did pretty okay. 43, nearly 44k damage on the Spellsinger, which is pretty impressive considering she only had access to Awakening of the Wood here. For the Zotes, by the looks of it, between the Enigmas of Gyran and the Rage of Zolcath, at least damage-wise, Oh, this last unit was very, very close. As for these guys, we got 20k on an unnamed unit of Eternal Guard. And for the Eternal Wardens, it looks like an unnamed unit of Eternal Wardens. Well, that was rather close in between them. And, ooh, almost exactly 20k on the Winterheart Guards there. Anyway, I think we're going to heal up because we should have to auto-resolve these armies. I'm hoping that it won't kill the drum, but I guess we'll find out. Abduct captives. We do need the money, but I mean, the remnants of those armies don't warrant us chasing them down. Yen Bo, I kind of forgot that we had declared war on you. I'm going to say no peace for now. He's no threat to us, and while we would actually like to ally with him, he is at war with Tehennawin. And I'm much more interested in the lizard units than I am in more Cathan units, so we could use more war drums. Anyway, Alithanar, you would like us to join the war against Karand Kar, who we just declared war upon, so we can't do it.
If I had my way.
Lokir Felhart, oh wow, you want peace? You must not be doing so well, sir. I wonder why, considering the Bastion was breached a long time ago and Northern Catha is an absolute shambles. Peace treaty with Katep, no thank you. Luther Harkin, you want peace as well, and you're actually willing to offer us a decent amount of cash, but not so decent that we're willing to take you up on that particular offer. Okay, I wasn't expecting these guys to attack. Really? Okay, well, this army's gonna have stronger units soon, and you're gonna have a much less likely attempt at this. Anyway, I guess we're fighting this one as well? Man, I was looking for the Skaven to attack, and everybody but the Skaven is attacking us, apparently. Ogres, beastmen, orcs. Alright. Alright, here we go again. We fought ogres, we fought beastmen, we've fought imperials, and an episode wouldn't be right if we didn't fight some orcs as well. So, once again, into the breach, though I wager that the enemy lord is not going to have a particularly good time. Losing half of his HP and 2 arrows of Kurnus, the enemy shaman spots 3 more volleys moving towards him. Now this brings him down to 592 HP. He does survive, but it's not a good life, and I think he's aware of it as he will break and shatter before being able to do anything. Not to worry though, we won't let him escape as another arrow of Kurnus knocks him off his boar and makes sure that he is unable to prevent that morale shock from moving in. And damn, that morale shock is looking pretty good, as the trolls, especially with their low leadership, are already pretty unhappy about it. I think that I made a slight mistake in keeping the rest of our forces back, but we're going to start moving forward now. I actually didn't think that the enemy would wait for their reinforcements in this particular situation for some reason, so could have had a little bit more time having the Swift Shiver Shards and the Way Watchers fire away at the enemy, but we're here now and firing away like we always wanted to. See those Swift Shiver Shards? 123 missile strength on walls deep here with magical damage and dual projectiles. Don't underestimate those Deepwood Scouts, as they do good work. Alright, the enemy moving towards us here with a pile of forest gobos, not to be underestimated, at least when they're buffed up. But in this particular case, they are too fragile to get close to our range line. Our Glade Guard are holding the top of the hill here, but we'll be able to back off if they need to, continuing to fire away with our Glade Lord and Glade Captain from up above on their eagles, providing support, but also being able to shift positions rapidly, and because of those birdies. And this is very valuable in case the enemy does manage to close the distance and we have to force them into melee. Speaking of being forced into melee, we don't want that to happen right now, so we're going to back off with our forces and fire again once we've opened up a little bit of distance between us and the enemy. Greenskins do move reasonably fast, especially depending on which unit you are talking about. So they will still probably get close enough to hit at least a few of our units, but this should allow us to heavily damage at least a few more. And plus this way we actually have the high ground while the enemy moves towards us, whereas before we were all the way out here and couldn't quite take as much advantage of it. The range fire continues, the multicolored arrows of various types coming down from the Glade Guard and these Swift Shiver Shards, and the enemy has still not reached our line at the current time. Okay, that was a fancy trick shot by this guy. Sort of spun around, fired backwards without looking. Alright, what do we got here? Regular Orc boys broken the bounce power at about 90% in our favor. We do briefly land in the enemy lines here just to prevent the Orc error boys from firing. We were busily working away at the enemy melee units and thus didn't have time for the range units, so we wanted to make sure that those bows were doing nothing. And by the looks of it, with that, the enemy army will shatter rather quickly. The battle is ours, but, well, pretty much an expected result. Most damage taken on the Darkbark Legion as they were being focused down by those two archer units before we touched down with our Glade Lord and Captain. Fortunately, we can also fire while moving, though the accuracy does leave something to be desired. Do knock out at least a few more of the enemy troops in such a manner. Nice. Alright, very nice, and I am admittedly starting to grow rather fond of being able to snipe enemy armies from across the map. I believe we're in enemy territory, so while I'd like the 2k, I think we'll just heal these two units to full so that the auto-resolve doesn't screw with them too much. Vladdy, you want peace? That's not gonna happen, buddy. Frankly, keeping Vlad alive may actually not be the worst thing in the world, as it does a sort of military alliance. Are you willing to give us any money for this? One? No, don't bother. Don't bother simply because their armies will be ours. Hopefully this turn, depending on what those Skaven are doing. Saberskin, I don't even remember who you are, go away. Alrighty, and by the looks of it, okay, so it looks like Tretch will not be attacking us. Defeated Scrag gives us that casualty replenishment trait, which is nice. Constructor for Zaltathios. Young Stag, sure. Great Eagle for Adora. Ally mission aborted Reichland. Fecundites destroyed. Clan Scryer. What the heck happened here? Oh, wow. They were destroyed by presumably Morgar. Huh. Man, Morgar did a good job. I can't believe Morgar destroyed all of Clan Scryer. That's kind of impressive. I suppose this campaign would have gone very differently if Scryer and Morgar weren't at war with each other, but I kind of like that they were, because normally you'd be sort of bogged down in dealing with them in the early portions of the campaign, and we didn't have to, so that made this a little bit different, which I like. A new forest encounter up in the Forest of Gloom. Okay, well, we'll have to get somebody over there. Trelon, you're supposed to transfer these units to Loren, though Loren... I want you to attack Bitterstone Mine. Go into Forest Calls, kill the remnants of this army. What? What? Why? What? Alright, that one does shock me. Alright, fine, we're gonna manually fight this real quick. Hopefully as soon as the reinforcements arrive, this army won't need to manually fight anything else afterwards. We shall see. I still think it's the Glade Guard that's making the AI think this army is weak, but if it isn't, I suppose what we could do is I was originally wanting to get some, okay, wait, let's just, oh, they've kept their formation. Why does it sometimes do that and sometimes it does not? I think most of the time it doesn't, but you know. I do like it when it does. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, right. I wanted to potentially put some Sisters of Athel Loren into this army, though there's no guarantee that, well, we have an easy way to access them anymore, but Gate Guard and, well, yeah. Gate Guard. I was about to say not Gate Guard, but also we could do the Lothern Sea Guard to take their place temporarily, to act as quote-unquote melee to help the auto-resolve. I still would really prefer not to have to do it though, so we shall see. Anyway, skirmish mode off, and I would like to select you, all 5 of you. Actually, you guys go here. All 5 of you, and I would like you all to use your Arrow of Kurnos on the Savage Orc War Boss. Alright, there we go. The arrows should kill the Lord. Well, it looks like he did manage to survive the attacks this time around. But he is running, so I suppose it doesn't matter over much. Alright, let's use your Arrows of Doom, or whatever this ability is called. And I use it every time, and I always forget to check what the ability is called. Hail of Doom. Oh, it's a Doom Arrow. Arrow, Doom, Doom Arrow, whatever. Same thing. Same thing. Come on now. Hey, chariots. Okay, I can't believe you let them get through. Guys, come on. Priority targets, please. Anyway, and there we go. Down goes the enemy army, and it should be fully destroyed. Oh, look at them melt those arrows when sped up. Oh, it's fun. All right. The extra minute won't make any kind of difference. Amber. Oh! Wait, are we at 100% now? We might be at 100% now. Let's find out. I'm excited about that. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have... Should have built the buildings in the new tree place, but I didn't, but all good. And we'll do it in a sec. Alright, we will take the money this time. Game on it to kill off Carillion. And... what do we have in terms of defenses at Bitterstone? Can you move in? About jumping in. Just a little bit too far. I think we either fight this manually, which would be another super quick fight. Yeah, but I don't want to waste the movement range, so I think we should still do it. But before we do, let's take a look at what else is going on. First of all, what are we? Oh, we're 98, so we do need one more turn. Well, darn. Well, one turn is not going to be a big deal. And then we'll get our first amber. Ooh, northern provinces. You might be dying. Do we send somebody to help him? I don't know. Goldtooth really doesn't like us as well. What the heck, Tretch? Why would you run? It's almost like you're a craven. Anyway, let us hunt you down and kill you. We've already defeated... it wasn't this army, really, but it was a nearby army. Can we auto-resolve you? Or what remains of your army? I'd like to get that Confederation up and running. Oh, are we going to be trespassing in Emmerich's territory? Looks like no. Darkhold belongs to the Skaven. It'll kill off the Deepwood Scouts. Do we care about that? Because we're about to replace them with Way Watchers. I guess the question is how much damage the other units will suffer. Let's risk it. Other units are more or less fine, and we don't care about that. And we got a Talisman of Preservation out of it. Very nice. We'll abduct the captives to keep this army in, if not full HP, decent HP. And we'll get that Confederation. Pesticide. Naistra and Arahan, the Sisters of Twilight, have heard of your exploits against the Skaven, and that the Ratman's assaults upon the world roots have subsided, making them much safer to traverse. The Sisters send word that they are open to forming a Confederation. I guess we'll give the... oh, I also love this defeat trait. Speed for the entire army. We should also read this. The world roots are important to all, for the fate of the Oak of Ages that sprouted them governs the fate of all forests, and some say the fate of the entire world. Few are more aware of this than the Sisters of Twilight, who use the ancient pathways by the will of their beloved mage queen, Ariel. Lately it has been reported that the activities of the scheming, skittering Skaven have caused damage to the world roots. The Ratmen gnaw at them, not only making them untraversable in places, but also rendering all who use them vulnerable to Skaven ambush. Bringing the Skaven to war and defeating them in battle will send a message that the defilement of the Oak of Ages' sacred roots will not be tolerated. Furthermore, such actions will be seen favorably by the Sisters of Twilight, whose battle prowess and association with the powerful Mage Queen would make them very useful allies indeed. Well, somebody has to lead our Air Force army, so who better? We're still healing. I would like you... oh, what's the likelihood you get killed by a random rat stack? I'm gonna hope that it's slow. You're gonna jump here. Alright, you're alive, good. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if these guys die, but they need to join this army. If you go into March stance, can't get that close to them. But I'd really like to transfer first, then we can go up to Crookback Mountain and raise it second, whatever. So we'll go this way. In March stance. And even if they ambush us, well, this army is not an army that you should be ambushing, let's face it. Also, Swinging Bows is maxed out. Nice. Hadn't realized that, but I'm happy that it has been.
Proud son of Athel Loren.
Probably not reaching rank 7 anytime soon, eh? So we don't really need this, though stand your ground is nice. And we could go for Quartermaster. This army is costing us... it's costing us a little bit. I would like all the armies to be free. But you know what, I think, yeah, we'll go for the Bolts of the Forest, we'll complete the red line. Though another Prey of Anathema would be nice here as well. Yeah. Way Watcher buffing it is. Alrighty, you... Alright, wait, well, let's see what we got in the Confederation. That's probably a little bit more important. Oh no, what the heck are you doing out here? Malekith is nearby, and you cannot move. Huh. Oh, a faction when we haven't declared war on. Wasn't that lovely? If we do, they'll probably attack us. But nonetheless, don't bother calling your allies to help and declare war. Alright. And that's another 300 to 400 gold per turn. Oh, your army is kind of garbage, and you know what? Ooh, you got some nice stuff, though. Refined Dreaming Bow construction cost -10 for all buildings. Oh, I gotta remember that we have this. That is very useful for very expensive buildings. Lose everything but the Royal Standard Bearer in case we need to move you away. Where are the Sisters of Twilight? Here they are. What do we have here? 2 Hawk Riders and a Great Forest Eagle unit. And, oh, let me guess, you need to be, yeah, they need to be reset. They got none of the good stuff. The real good stuff is though +5 melee attack for charging units, 25% charge bonus for flying units, and I think there should be more stuff. Perhaps specifically for the... no, it's still for all flying units. I assumed that it was bonuses specifically for the Hawk Riders, but apparently it ain't. Well, happy about that. Also, you have a Spell Singer of Beasts who also has a bunch of stuff. Upkeep -4 for all units in army. Campaign +20% for all... For... What? Why do you have all this good stuff? What the heck? Damn. Do they have some kind of forging? Wait. Maybe that... Huh. This is all the refined dreaming stuff. Yeah, I take that they have some kind of forging capability or something. Animation chance when using world roots. There's some solid stuff in here. Not for you. Take all this away. I keep almost panicking when removing items because I keep thinking that that their loyalty would go down, even though they have no loyalty. Okay, we'll need to spread a few of the new items around. Anyway, sisters, keep what you got for now. Stay near Hotek's column. Oh, you're gonna suffer attrition. Well, that's not a big deal. Go here. Keep what you got for now. And we gotta retrofit you. Hopefully you don't lose... I mean, yeah, you won't lose that eagle. We should reset the Sisters of Twilight, though. So we'll do so right now. Ooh, do we have a free lord that is available right now? Yes, we can use Zaka. Alright. You are going to get reset. 3 turns until we can get them on the field. I mean, since we need to retrofit their army anyway, it shouldn't matter. Reset skill points. Yeah, wounded, and then Aka, you can command, quote-unquote, this army for a teensy bit. On to regular stance. I think it's unlikely that they get attacked, but who knows, why risk it? Anyway, Ulriareth. If you don't get killed by the Hagreef rebels, or by Malekith or somebody nearby, I'm gonna move you southward. Transfer your stuff to the sisters until they're good. Ooh, a little bit better with the actual helm on you. Spellweaver of Shadows, Relic Sword, Scroll of Shielding, and what do you have? 7 Sorcerer Supreme. No, it's terrible. Well, actually, the minus attrition isn't actually too bad. Maybe not. Maybe terrible is the wrong word. And ooh, right. We're at war with the Cult of Pleasure, meaning all this heathland is in danger. Keep the Waystone, I guess, just for now. At least this will help the Witchwood grow. And speaking of the Witchwood, let's immediately get you that Craftsman's Tree up and running, and then wait for further growth as well. All right, lovely. Orion. Wasn't there a little tiny? Probably you. A little tiny army. Alright, Orion. You could, funnily enough, reach Torokar all the way from here. Probably has solid defenses, though. Oh, actually, nothing crazy. Oh, but we'll suffer attrition if we... Yeah, alright, fine. Just go for the Shrine of Kurnus. possibly raise it. We'll go for this way. And I know it feels weird to raise a Shrine of Kurnos, but at the same time, we, for some reason, can't build any kind of landmark here. And if any place needs a landmark, it's this place. And oh, right, you have that nonsense. I'd like to auto-resolve this since we already didn't have the auto-resolve thing. Did I give you... what was it? It was Young Stag, right. Did I give you all Young Stags? Ah, I did. This is with the budget reduction. Do you have a Young Stag? You do. Alright. Alright, okay, it's gone this time. I'm going to auto-resolve this because I don't want to... This battle's unnecessary, let's face it. Auto-resolve? A little bit of damage, but not all that much. And ooh, 8k to raise, I'll take it. And then Orion, you're going to go into encamp stance, which should allow you to heal to full, and then probably take or raise both of these places afterwards. We might have to manually fight one, but not a big deal. I'm really hoping that Nakari will be back by then, because I wanted his defeat trait. And just to double check, we have all the Heathland here? Yes, we do. Alright, which is why the guy in Vale is doing good. I actually really need that bonus relationship with High Elves, because I want an alliance with Eotane. Oh, you know what we should do? We should find the eastern colonies. Should definitely be a goal. Also, I believe last episode we saw Throt the Unclean floating around somewhere here, but I don't see him anymore. Alright, Durthu. I think we're going to send Durthu to defend the Haunted Forest once we pop the ritual. I was originally going to send him to Orion's camp, but I want to pop the ritual ASAP and get that amber up and running. We can always send him down there afterwards. So in that light, Durthu, my friend, you are going to Loren. I guess you're going to sit there for a turn.
Of course.
Oh, actually, no, you're going to go right now because we need the hunt. Yeah, alright, go here. And then you are going downtown to the Haunted Forest. Like so. And you're going to sit and wait for one turn. Yes. And then, you know what, afterwards we can have him destroy the Poxmakers. Maybe we'll send somebody else to and grab Orion's camp. But we do want it ASAP so that it starts growing in its woodliness. It's a word, damn you. World Roots, let's go raise Pack Ice Bay. We can return to Wrecker's Point after, should we need to. Hopefully Carl just reclaims all of this territory, because it's not like we need it. And we certainly don't want to stick around and defend it, that's for sure. Alright, go here. I forget, what else did I want for Elendilling? We needed one other thing in here. You have Strider. And Wayfarer. I wanted to delete this Glade Rider, but I no longer remember what for. It was either a Hawk Rider, maybe a Glade Captain? We have spells. Well, I'll figure it out. Alright, and then you're gonna go to the same place. Help out with a little bit of that auto-resolve, and there we go. This way you won't suffer attrition. Lovely. Alright, Trelon, you are supposed to try to get to Loren, which I guess we'll do in a second. Alright, Ara, you don't need to recruit or move as yet, because we might be building, but if we aren't, then we'll recruit. Loren will fight in a second. I keep clicking you, my bad, buddy. Nath, you are getting War Lions for Akka. Okay, we'll need a little bit more time to acquire more War Lions. In fact, let's double-check diplomacy here. Ally missions. We got one with Athel Loren. Ooh, yes, Cult of Sotek. Defeat Marcus Wolfhart. We'll take it. Athel Loren. Defeat Bellicor and Trigosh. Oh, Trigosh. I'll try to make it happen. Ha! Okay, it disappeared. Well, I guess it came back. Vlad, maybe? We're not hunting these guys right now, so it's not a big deal, but we'll do Vlad, I guess. We actually have a decent amount of allies, but our trade value is basically non-existent. Oh, maybe I should have sent Durthu to the Forest of Gloom, and then... You know what? He can go there and then go back to the Haunted Forest right after. We have 2 turns left of the hunt. I like this much more, so we'll send you to the Forest of Gloom to get this encounter. And hopefully we can send you back, and yeah, I like it. Anyway, Datan, I don't remember whether you were next or not, but I do want you to kill off Scraggy here, so hunt him down. And this time we're auto-resolving. Let's hope that the drum doesn't go down to 1 HP. It's gonna do it, isn't it? Not 1, but low. Hey, we did get a giant blade out of it, though. It's inferior to, like, obsidian blade and other sort of similar stuff. Abduct captives, please. Can you reach Szush? Shush. It's probably pronounced shush. I feel like it is. Go.
Kindred to battle!
And, huh. Why couldn't Scrag run, but you can? Curious. Anybody can explain why? Oh, it's probably because Scrag was the one who attacked us and Shush was a reinforcement. Or at least whatever other... Just kill him, just kill him. And it won't... You know what? I don't trust you, game. I'm gonna quick save because I want that drum dead because it takes a long time to get... it takes a long time... Ah, okay, good. It takes a long time to get what we need. Abduct captives again. And the army is not destroyed. Datan, you do not need the War Dancer Drummer, and we'll see if we can't get you some ancillaries. You certainly don't need the Hawk Companion, as you have no ranged weapon with which to range. And another War Banner. I have never gotten anywhere near this many War Banners before, and we're getting tons. Anyway, got a Matorka. And I guess we'll jump down here to help, or we'll go down here and destroy these frickin' ogres for good. I really need the colonization cost of these places to be reduced, though. Elgar still hasn't declared war on us either. Frankly, if we were to give him Karak-Azor, he could probably like us, and maybe we could keep him alive. I wasn't originally intending to do it, but we might, depending on whether we can confed Draika or not. As soon as Draika is confeded, then we can do. But if she doesn't confed, well, it would be lorefully accurate, so I wouldn't even be that mad. Anyway, Loren, I think that's like the 5th time I've clicked on you. My bad, guys. My memory ain't so good. You can reach Marcus. He might be able to run. Do we have... We do have. Military access is what I was wondering. Ooh, I'd really love to ally with you. 13k. Oh, man. I'm almost willing to pay it, because there's a lot of lizardmen... There's a lot of good lizard stuff that we want. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I know it's a lot of money, and it's probably stuff that we could use to build stuff, but it's just something that we want. Go for it. I think it'll pay for itself over time. Karak-Azul and Bordeaux Errant. No, we're not gonna do anything with you. Eatane. Yes to the military access. Yes to the defensive alliance. Thank you.
Very well.
Beautiful. And they'll give us additional range as well as possibly some units that we might want. I don't want any of these military alliances, and I certainly don't want peace, so I guess we're good. Heshwatla is still reasonably friendly with us. For 4k, eh? Might, despite our war with the Jade Court, might keep them friendly enough. And it has more potential for more lizard units. I'll think about it. It'll probably be also just as simple as trading them some territory belonging to the Cult of Pleasure, though I'm not so sure that it's super necessary. Anyway, I guess... Ah, Sacred Pools, yes. Should have built this last turn, but anyway, let's get you your Forest Lookouts for those War Dancers. Let's immediately start upgrading the Glade to Tier 2. I wish it wasn't so stupidly expensive. Ooh, a moment. Is Skura? Hold on to this, wait, who has the Giant Blade? Datan. No, not the right lord. Hold this refined dreaming bow. And then build it for cheaper. Yes. Not much cheaper, but cheaper enough for our purposes. Yes to the War Dancers, and then wait to grow the stuff that makes it grow more. Good. Alrighty. And also, a moment. Huh. Does Orion not have access to the Wood Elf Legendary unit? The Heralds of Talsyn, right? I built those in Draika's campaign. So why can't we build them here? Are they part of the Oak of Ages? No, I see no recruitment. Huh. Why would Orion not have access to them? That's odd. Maybe there's something specifically that you have to do to get access to them. They're not a regiment of renown, or they don't count as one. No, that's the Stag Knights. Curious. They're an Eagle Rider unit. Like, not a Hawk Rider, an Eagle Rider. Oh man, I really wanted to put those in the Sisters of Ariel army. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Speaking of... if we have enough money for them, we should start recruiting some of their stuff. Also, would you... Ah, you would. I was gonna send them to Temple of Adaoth. But I think you have to stay here for now. Alright, fine. Alright, Loren, we'll get back to you in a minute, probably. Iskura, you're probably going to fight Zoltathios. I just want to make all the moves. Zoltathios, you can return to Lorelorn. Oh. Yeah, just stay there. And who else do we have here? Akka the Wanderer, you can stay here for now until you're retrofitted. Ooh. Though we do want to get you maybe some stuff before the hunt is gone. Hunt is gone. Circo and Dada, you're fine.
Your orders are accepted.
Let us check Spell Singers. Limber, Sylvan Swiftness, Vindictive, Bewitching. For the love of... You know what? I'm gonna get a Bewitching one for the hero action success chance. I know, but we want the one with the additional steel tech, but we're spending a long time not stealing any tech, and I don't like that. What's the closest place to enemies? I think a lot of the other elves will like us if we annoy the Cult of Pleasure, so I think that's the one we're gonna do. Oh, but you can't build them. Okay. Game, if you're gonna be like that. Where is a place that can actually build them that has enemies nearby? You cannot for one more turn. I guess we could give it one more turn then. You are kind of far. Athel Loren can build them and is near, sort of near to the Norskins. Now, I would actually have to travel fairly far as well. Huh. I guess we wait the turn then. And build you here. Alright, and that'll give another turn chance for those units to be milled and acquire another spellcaster. Anyway, time to fight again. Let us do... There were 2 fights. I forget, this one cannot be auto-resolved, right? Pyrrhic victory. I know, we'll manually fight this real quick, hopefully for the last time. And then we'll cinematically fight the one with the war dancers again against Marcus Wolfhart. Oh, it's a minor settlement. I wasn't expecting that. Should have checked in on that. But whatever. Not like the enemy has any kind of real threatening troops against us here. I suppose depending on where their towers are located, the towers might be able to do some damage, but even then, I sincerely doubt it. Alright, let's, you guys are good. And in terms of your deployment location, pop you 3 here. Even closer. Since the enemy likes to deploy really far, I think it won't matter. Really just gotta watch out for the enemy towers. You 3 here. Gonna make you guys group 1. We're gonna make you 2 go behind these guys, and then do this. This. Stupid. And this, all of you turn off skirmish mode, and good to go. Start battle. Yeah, enemy's too far. But that is what we expected. You guys go here. You guys go attack this tower. You guys go here. So, and like so. I don't see no enemies. Where's the enemy lord? I don't see him. Go and annoy the trolls. And by annoy, I mean use your arrows of Ruinous on the trolls. Like so. Alright, arrows of Ruinous out. Go into melee and then turn off skirmish mode and then attack this thing. Alrighty, let's start moving this way then. Waystalkers out in front, please. I don't know why I'm talking like they can hear me. But I suppose it doesn't matter over much. Let's get you guys here. Way Watchers here. There is a unit moving in. I guess you guys can move in as well. Alright. On the bridge. And we'll speed it up shortly. I'm trying to play it as fast as I can, but it, well, isn't going quite as fast as I'd like. Anyway, this may be a, well, not a cinematic battle, it's a controlled battle, but we can sort of get a few good shots of the enemies drowning in arrow fire. And drown they do. There we go. There's enough shock that they can't even get close to us. At least not with a single unit like this. And what about you guys? You want to launch some arrows the enemy's way? Probably can't target those trolls. Go for this unit of Orc Biggins. Let's see if you can target them from here. Alright, smash her into the cliffside. Oh, guys, come on. Ruinous would not be proud of your aim here. Not at all. Anyway, let's move a few more units close up. Still can't say I'm super fond of moving units through settlements, but part of the experience at this point. You want to pray Vanathrema these Spider Riders just so that they can't get close. So let's move everybody in. Huh, Spider Riders are still able to charge. That's curious. And how are you taking damage? The heck? Curious as well. Not a big deal, but certainly curious. There's another tower that I didn't see, is there? No, I don't see it. Ooh, is that the enemy lord? Indeed it is. An orc shaman. Go target him with your arrows. I guess you guys can close the distance. Not that you can do all that much right now, and keep moving. Alright, you're a little bit hurt, so let's move you into the second rank now. And swap out a little bit. Like so, like so, like so. And what do we have coming in? You know, biggins. Well, they're not actually coming in. I don't know what the heck they're doing. Alright. Ah, there's some more units over there. Ooh, that sounds like arrow time to me. Arrows here. And all of you use your Hail of Doom arrows on this. There we go, nice. And again. And again. You should have one more. Come on. You have one more in you. Fire. Fire away, please. Don't let them charge. They're not firing. Oh, okay, you know what? That was just rude. That was just tremendously rude. Frankly, most of our units aren't firing. The heck? Guys, come on now. You're better than this. And by you, I mean the units, not the AI. Ooh, nice charge from the trolls that I did not spot in the background. Let's get the Glade Captain to deal with them. Let's pop a Prey of Anathrem on this blob of units. And I think we have another one on this unit of Boar Boys. You guys retarget the Boar Boys, and we'll have you land to annoy the enemy. That's what I get for sitting there and trying to spam that one ability. Alright, you guys target these Savage Orcs here. They'll still be fine. Any of you guys hurt? I'm a teensy bit. Not enough to matter, though. We expected damage from an auto-resolve anyway, and yeah. Alright, that unit is just about done. As soon as it shatters, we can switch. Let's switch fire to this unit as well. Hey, don't go into melee. What are you doing? Alright, you. Fire off an arrow of Ruinous. And alright, that unit's shattered. Target those Savage Orcs now, and I think we can speed it back up. Alright, melt the rest of the enemy away. And we're starting to run out of ammunition now, but that's whatever. Alright, and there we go. The enemy army shatters, and with that, the battle is ours. We can sack or raise this place, and hopefully our reinforcements will mean we won't have to worry about not auto-resolving this. Teensy bit of damage on a couple of units, but obviously not super relevant. Alright, I think we got one more battle to do in this particular episode. Frankly, we're kind of out of time, but I was really expecting to get a little bit more action from those war dancers, so I'm still going to allow this episode to go a little long. Oh, and speaking of the episode going long, 350 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. The comments are certainly there. The likes are kind of dropping off, which is a shame, so do keep in mind that once we stop reaching the engagement threshold, we'll go down to half-hour episodes. Pigeon Plucker Pendant we can keep. Ooh, nice raise amount. Pigeon Plucker Pendant we can keep for the Sisters of Twilight. Now, I want you to get close enough to go here. Pigeon Plucker Pendant, Hunting Hound, Forest Spirit, whatever. What about March Stance? Yeah, about the same. Go here. Swap, and I'm gonna keep one unit of Glade Guard. Whoops. I miscalculated that. What are you gonna do? Alright, and I guess we don't need these guys anymore. Just because the auto-resolve doesn't like them. Trelon, Hunting Hound, War Dancer, Drummer, you don't need those, and I guess we'll delete these units. What do you have again? Ooh, Warden of the Weald, so we can actually use you in another place. Oh, you know what? Then we are going to delete you first. And then we are going to reset your skill points. Send you back somewhere and get you more growth of the forest. Yes. Alright, lovely. Loren, you're stuck where you are. Going to... Do we want you in Masterful Ambush? No, you know what? I think we want the enemy to see that you're here, and then we'll recruit you to another Sister of the Thorn somewhere. Maybe global recruited, because I don't want to ferry another unit over there. Anyway, to not end the episode, let's do one more fight. Iskura. Let's level you up and we'll hit Marcus Wolfheart's army, whatever it is that he has over there. Try to go for that Woven Mist. I guess that's the next thing to do. Alright. Glade Captain Adora, you have increased mobility and Gonna be a while until rank 14 unless we get more kills available. Let's get marked by Ruinous, and then, you know what, no, I lied. Let's get Kinband Captain. Wait, no. This is the wrong army for that. Whatever. Too late. We can still use it. Earthblood, and I'm gonna say either another point in Earthblood or... No, you know what? I really like Shield of Thorns. More Shield of Thorns. Cooldown reduction. Not overcast, just cooldown reduction. Branch Wraiths can't overcast their spells. Kill Marcus. Will he fight? He will run. Oh, damn, you ran far, buddy. Oh, too far. Alright, fine. We're gonna pop you into ambush, and we'll see if he can reach the Sacred Pools from here. Let's just hope that he can't. 90% ambush success chance. This would be an awful time for you to get ambushed. I'm sure that Gorok also doesn't like the fact that you're trespassing. But hey, at least we're allied with Gorok now. Ooh, also before I forget, let us outpost up at Itza. And you also have access to Basties with Reviv, Solar Engines, Razordons, Arcs of Sotek, Salamanders. There's definitely a lot of stuff that would work nicely with our army. So construct at Itza and construct at... I'm gonna say kayaks. Almost declared war on them accidentally. Is kayaks an option? Yes, indeed it is. Kayaks it is. Lovely. Alright. I don't know why I chose kayaks over... Well, it's part of their main province anyway. Construction, and good. Alrighty, well, I think with that, then I can call the episode here. If there's no further fighting to do, we can just end the turn at the start of next episode and deal with it afterwards. At least I think there is a little bit more admin to do, but I think I'll just take care of it between the episodes, and then we can start the next episode fresh. Gonna figure out which buildings to build and whatnot. So, calling it here. Next time, we will pop the ritual at the Haunted Forest. I know I keep saying this every single episode, but next time for real, since we're at 98. And, yeah. And 3 turns until we get the Sisters of Twilight on field. Just gotta remember to recruit them a bunch of aerial units so that they can take as much advantage of them as possible. We can probably send them these guys as well. Put the Waystalkers in the air army. I mean, obviously they won't really buff the... Well, hey, we actually do want them in the army because we need some ground units, so we might as well. The range will probably help their flyers to some degree, and I wouldn't say no to the arrows of Ruinous still helping snipe things, which I'm sure the Sisters of Twilight are very happy about because they like sniping stuff as well. Anyway, yeah, calling it here. More to come. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to leave those likes in the comments below, especially the threshold if you're into the hour-long episodes. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.